Kevin Durant to the Rockets. Once again, Kevin Durant, an all-time great offensive wing player, arguably one of the top 3 small forwards in history. Surefire Hall of Famer. Spent most of his career as one of the top 2 players in the game during his prime. Is going to his 5th team after playing for Oklahoma City, winning 2 titles with Golden State, then trying to build a super team in Brooklyn, trying to build a super team in Phoenix, and now is trying to build a super team in Houston. Every time Kevin Durant sets up a team, you think you might have a title contender, and then you never get it. With Brooklyn, you thought you were getting a historic super team, and the Kyrie Irving debacle happened, injuries happened. That's just how it went. But he was traded to Houston for Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks and a top 10 draft pick. Houston was 52-30 this past year. A lot of times with these trades, we don't pay enough attention to who was given up. And you would have to wonder, is that a reason to be concerned if you're the Rockets? This is the first time I'm seeing this since Brooklyn. And Brooklyn, I would not have picked Kevin Durant to be successful if I knew everything that was going to happen within the inner workings of that franchise. This isn't Brooklyn. I think this move is going to work. And here's why I think it's going to work. Kevin Durant, one of the reasons that the moves for him have never worked out as well as people thought, is Kevin Durant is a vastly overrated player. Kevin Durant is an elite scorer, an elite shooter. He's a very mid passer, and he's very mid at taking care of the basketball. He turns it over. He can't pass out of a double team. This was how Oklahoma City blew a 3-1 lead to Golden State all those years ago back in 2016 when he was at OKC. He was turning the ball over and unable to pass out of double teams. Golden State figured that out, and he didn't know what to do, and then he ended up going to Golden State right after that. That's a huge problem with Kevin Durant, and it's why Kevin Durant should never be considered on the level of LeBron James or Larry Bird for the best wing of all time. LeBron's the best wing of all time. Larry Bird's the second best wing of all time. That's just how it is. Kevin Durant is significantly below them. As he's gotten older, he is also a liability on defense. He was never great on defense, but he could use his length for certain things. But one of the things that has cost him in Phoenix is he couldn't pass, like I said, and his defense has now gone from not being a strength to being a very, 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 very big albatross around teams' necks. And it's a problem. Kevin Durant's defensive box plus minus was negative 0.7 this past year. Yeah, it was negative 0.7. It was in the negatives early in his career too. This is a problem. But here's the truth. The Rockets last year were an elite defensive team. They had the 4th best defensive rating in the NBA. Their offense is what they've needed to pick up. Their offense was 13th best out of 30 at 115.3. So they needed to improve their offense. Now you may ask the question, did they hurt their defense to improve their offense? I mean, after all, Dylan Brooks is a known famous defender. He was great with the Grizzlies. The dude talks. He gets in people's faces. He's a frustrating, pesky wing who gets in your face. Well, Dylan Brooks is not the Dylan Brooks of old. Dylan Brooks averaged less than a steal a game this past year, and his actual defensive box plus minus was 0.0. He provided no value to this team defensively whatsoever. I kid you not. Dylan Brooks on that, in terms of things like defensive win shares, he was at 2.5. That was 6th on the team, despite the fact that he was a starter. So Dylan Brooks provides hardly any value as a defensive player. Now, Jalen Green was 3rd on the team in defensive win shares at 3.2. But Jalen Green's defensive box plus minus was negative 0.5. He was a liability on defense. Now, negative 0.5 plus 0.0 for a guy who was negative 0.7 in defensive box plus minus. Kevin Durant is still a much, much bigger fear overall defensively, but it's not enough of a drop-off to worry because, again, his offense is going to make up for it. And to be fair, you've got key players anyway who will still be on this team. So I think when you take that into account, I actually think this is a great pickup. The defense will stay where it is, okay? Because Amen Thompson is going to be back. He is on a team option. They're going to keep him. He was one of their biggest defensive specialists last year, and that's probably the biggest reason to, if we're just being honest with Thompson there, that's one of the biggest reasons to believe in him. Fred VanVleet is still there. He's got a year on his contract. Steven Adams is gone, but again, Fred VanVleet's going to be there. Amen Thompson is there. I think Houston will be in great shape with Kevin Durant there. It's the perfect pickup for this team. There's just no way you can doubt it. And Amen Thompson, by the way, is only going to get better defensively. He averaged 14 points last year per game, but defense was a strength, 8 rebounds. He is going to be an elite wing defender. Elite in the post, okay? So while they do lose, basically the meat of this trade, because Dylan Brooks is just not that great of a player, guys. Sorry. The meat of the trade is Jalen Green's offense versus Kevin Durant's offense, and you're taking Kevin Durant's offense over Jalen Green's offense. So I actually love this trade. I think it was really smart. It's the first time that Kevin Durant is going to a team where he's a fit for, because, again, Kevin Durant's not LeBron, he's not Michael Jordan, and he's not Larry Bird, and he's not Shaq. He's not a guy you can just plug in anywhere that you go after. And he wasn't even really that in his prime, honestly. He's a Hall of Fame player who has to be in the right situation. He's in the right situation in Houston now. This is a great fit for him. I think Kevin Durant is going to be a very, very special player in Houston. If they can all stay healthy, I do believe they will be able to make a run at an NBA title.